On abbey shores where shadows play, the alley whispers night and day. In abomination, alley's grip, where fear and danger tightly knit. Oh, the alley breathes a tale untold of secrets dark and hearts grown cold. Abbey streets, they'll pull you in to the depths where sin begins.
Hello and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, and that of course means we're playing Abomination Alley, our BRP actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason. And with me as usual, well, depending on which character, which NPC I'm running. And with us as usual will be Sarah playing Vivian. I should probably unmute y'all so y'all can start talking. Eric playing Michael. Jeremy playing Salvador. And Carr playing Teak. Alright, who remembers where we left off last week?
Probably combat.
Pre-combat, we were heading towards a stranger's house.
The League of Ordinary Gentlemen was walking towards a house.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
That's
good.
I hate that, and I love that, and I hate that.
I hate that I didn't think of it.
I'm freaking tired, and I thought of that.
I don't know what name you had for the episode, but that's it now.
It's no longer No Loose Ends. It's the League of Ordinary Gentlemen.
No, that'll be when y'all confront the entire group of them later.
Gotcha.
That's what a collective group of these enemies is called, is a league.
Gentlemen.
Is this a pack of ordinary gentlemen?
This is a roving gang of ordinary gentlemen.
The Congress of Ordinary Gentlemen.
A murder of ordinary gentlemen.
A massacre of Ordinary
That kind of
Gentlemen.
works. A murder of ordinary gentlemen kind of works.
It does, yeah.
It's pretty good.
You're going to have to use it now. We've had that in somewhere.
All right.
So, for a brief summary, you were investigating some disappearances in the mostly human part of town. You were canvassing that part of town, and a woman flagged Michael and Salvador.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, flagged you two down. One of the missing gentlemen is in her house.
Yes.
He seemed convinced that he's been marked for death. He name dropped a name Michael was familiar with. As who he suspects is trying to have him rubbed out.
Yeah.
And then looking out the windows, Michael noticed some people passing the house at semi-regular intervals.
Yeah.
When Salvador flagged down the rest of the party, a few nondescript gentlemen started moving towards the house as well. And I think we wrapped with Vivian, Teak, and I think Leo was with y'all.
Yeah, we were crossing the street.
I think y'all were just getting to the stoop or just getting in the house, one or the other.
Yeah.
We were just to the stoop. I think Teak and V had noticed that that they were being kind of tailed, and Michael had his aura radar on. Yeah, the vibe check active.
Were we being tailed, or were they just like walking around the block?
They were like coming towards us as we were walking towards the
yes.
house.
They were moving to intercept on both sides. Is how I
Yeah,
remember.
but we weren't being followed, I don't think.
No,
Not that we perceived.
Yeah, the indication you had of these four gentlemen that you're seeing right now was that they were just around this house. You know,
Mm.
and it's like they came extra alert when Salvador stepped out and called out to y'all.
Yeah.
And then they started moving. They started kind of moving in towards the house. So it's really like they were beelining for the front door, just at the same time you were beelining for the front door.
Are we Jaegering our dear friend, or is he just not here this for the session? Or are you going to do it, Jason?
Oh, let me pull up Leo's stats.
Because like, I feel like a thing that he would do is activate his fists. So if we're Jaegering him, then
I mean, if there's an inbound like fight like that is going to be happening, it wouldn't surprise me if he did,
Mm-hmm.
like
Makes sense.
in the least.
Well, especially because Vivian and Teak are like, hey, look, there's those really ordinary guys walking the exact same direction as we are.
It's not like they're
Other
the
ordinary
only
guys across
ordinary
the
looking
street.
guys on the street, but
Mhm.
And those other ordinary guys that are also closing.
well, it's like 2 on one side of the street and 2 on the other side. Only 2 of them
Yep.
are like having to cross the street like y'all are. The other 2 are
Okay.
coming in from the sides towards the door.
That's worse. I need you to know that's worse.
I am a GM. It is my job to make it worse.
Good. As long as we understand each other.
You're
Then
doing
yeah.
great.
Iron
Well, thank
Hands
you. I
activate.
appreciate that, man.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. What does he roll for his? Let's detect magic and dispel magic. Ah, there we are. Iron Hand.
Failure. Womp womp.
And he's trying to do it on the move. Heart
Yeah,
rate's up, all excited.
Yep. He's trying to do the hand reload thing and grow a pocket protector.
Trying to do the Naruto hand stuff and just kind of ow my fingers. Too old for this arthritis.
Mood.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was his idea. So Salvador will bring out Old Faithful. He's not going to fire at anybody, but he is holding it. He's just pulling it out of the duffel bag if he hasn't already.
Mm.
I'm not going to fire at them, but I am going to make it known that I am not going down without a fight.
And the gentleman that y'all are protecting, or that's in the room, or in the house, I believe was Noah Collis.
Yes.
Mm.
That sounds correct.
I don't think I had. Did I name his lady friend?
No.
Whose
I
house it
don't
was?
think
Okay.
so.
Good. That means I haven't forgotten anything.
Excellent.
So Salvador, are you still leaning out the front door and pulling your gun out?
I've leaned out and I see this I see the bigger picture of what's happening
Mhm,
here. I make eye contact with Leo and I just unzip my duffel and come out.
The lady in the house is like sensing the tension. What's going on?
There's don't never worry, man. We'll be back in just a moment. But just close the door behind us and we'll let you know when it's safe.
Okay, Michael, are you stepping outside?
He's going to stay inside. He will pull his pistol out, even if internally he's like, I barely know how to use this. But yeah, he's gonna stay inside for right now. Just to keep an eye on things.
Okay.
Just in case, well, I saw that look, Sarah.
There's more than one door to this house.
Yes. There's also that. There is more than one door to this house, so. And his spidey senses are active at the moment. Sorta.
Oh yeah, you vibe checked one of the guys last time. Got all sorts of interesting information.
Yeah.
He was ordinary. No.
But it also helps with perception too. So stuff like insight, spot, listen, sense also helps with all that.
All right, so y'all are standing. Salvador is standing on the stoop. Duffel bag is unzipped.
It's out. Like rifle's out. I'm not pointing it at anybody, but it is out.
I'm just rolling to see if people on the street notice. Hey, there's a dude standing over there with a rifle.
Fair enough.
And
It's an elf and
with
a
roll
human
of
part of
5,
town with a
with
rifle.
With a roll of a 5, they notice.
Okay.
And like you're getting some weird looks, and a few people are like, "I'm gonna go inside."
For the best.
But you're not waving it around. You're not pointing at anybody.
No,
It's just out. And you're
it's
holding
just strapping it around
Hmm.
my neck.
it. The ordinary-looking gentlemen that are headed your way slow down a little bit.
Okay.
They no longer seem to be in a rush.
Good.
Vivian and Teak, managed to get up on the stoop before them. Since they slow down, they don't have to slow down. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
the three of y'all are standing on top of the stoop.
Okay.
The ordinary-looking
still,
gentlemen
like-
start to group up at the bottom.
Okay. Oh, is this like a large, like a high slope stoop?
Like sitting in your chair. Imagine the level y'all are standing on would probably be about shoulder high with you.
Okay.
So like 5 or 6 steps up.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll just kind of be sitting there. It's across my lap. And just look over, wait for them to say something.
The four of them kind of all look at each other. And maybe it's eyebrow wiggles or how they look at
Some
each other,
sort of-
but apparently one is selected as a spokesperson. And he takes a little half step forward.
Yep.
Excuse me, sir. We need to speak with Mr. Collis.
Is there a particular reason?
Oh, it's kind of business oriented. It's really just between himself and our employer.
I'll kind of look and do a similar eyebrow waggle around our team and be like,
It's the ear wiggle.
like a
That's-
floppy ear.
I will say just because he's the spokesperson,
You're inside.
yes, but vibe check, I can see them. Which is successful, and I still have the superior vibe check active.
All right, so you are vibe checking the spokesperson.
I am vibe checking the spokesperson.
Pure evil, fire.
Well, he
He
kind of
is
picked that
the
up last
void.
time. They are unnecessarily evil.
Yeah.
Insultingly evil.
It's like I've seen a lot of criminal scum. There is something wrong with these guys.
But just how far away from like twirling a mustache with the lady on the train tracks?
I'll be right back.
Oh, I don't think these guys are that dramatic.
Mm,
But that evil?
Only if there was a purpose. I mean, you don't tie random ladies to train tracks. Goodness.
Sure.
mhm.
I'm pretty sure even by the 20s that was an old trope.
Hmm.
Or maybe it was.
They're the kind of people who would. They're the kind of people who would steal your donut and replace it with a rubber donut.
No. They replaced it with a bagel.
Yeah.
A stale bagel.
I think Salvador just like they say, they've got business with this person, and I think Salvador retorts and is like, "You have business with this person who doesn't seem to be in any way connected to you."
Well, as I said, we are representatives of of an employer with whom he is acquainted.
Do you want to drop names? He seems to be really on edge right now. So, like,
Oh, well, that's upsetting. If I could speak to him, perhaps I could calm him down.
I don't.
Michael
I
from
don't
the
know.
window. No.
But the windows aren't like, it's not like plexiglass or something, especially not in the 20s.
Yeah, they're not going to be real thin, though. This is a city up north,
Nah,
so winter is a thing.
fair enough. I think I'm sorry. I don't know. He's been real. He is indisposed at the moment, and I think you know that.
Perhaps you could just let one of us in to speak. Just a conversation.
Under. I hope you realize the severity of the situation. What would someone say? I think he would say something to the effect of like, I don't know. We have we've spoken with him. He is extremely indisposed and very likely also no longer here.
Oh, he's going to vibe check you on that one.
Sure.
Let's see here. We're going to put the invisible man. All right. I forget what skill is it that you roll for that?
There's actually an insight skill in here somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
there
it's
is.
actually called insight. Very good then.
Yep. Would I be able to posit this as command of like, no, you are not talking to this man right now, like trying to bear down on in this conversation?
That seems more like you're trying to intimidate.
Yeah. My rifle is slung along my my lap, so like, eh.
Well, it doesn't seem to us that you've been in the house very long. So if you've spoken with him, chances are he's still there.
Long enough to know that he does not want anybody to see him right now. Now he's coming into like a lower growl, almost like a lower growl and like a step off. There will be trouble here in just a moment if you do not step off.
Quick question. Did the men say the guy's last name? And follow-up question, is there a name on this house?
They did
Or
say
a mailbox?
they did say his last name.
Mhm.
There is probably there'd be a mailbox of some sort, probably up on the stoop. Kind of one of those built into the side, on the side of the house, not. And it's got whatever the lady's last name is.
Which is different than this guy's name.
Yeah. We'll call her Summerford.
Summerford?
Summerford.
Uh, Yeah.
But last my employer was aware, the gentleman seemed to be upset. We simply want to reassure him that everything is okay.
And who did you say your employer was again?
I did not. There is a confidentiality aspect to this.
Oh, that's a shame. There's a confidentiality aspect here as well.
But we already know he's there, so you're not breaching a confidence then.
Which is very weird that you would look for someone by that last name here at a house where their last name is not here. Which would imply that you are tailing them, which does suggest something a bit nefarious, more than just business that needs to be resolved with your employer.
Well, it's business that needs to be resolved very quietly.
Oh, that's a shame. I like loud things.
Salvador, like, me too.
Could you perhaps take him a written message for us?
Vivian inside her head, could you perhaps get effed?
I'll go
Well,
on, perhaps.
we're here just because. Just in case.
And
Gotcha.
and just
A
just
perfectly reasonable thing to do.
Uh-huh.
Just listening for doors opening elsewhere, the sound of a man being shoved into a burlap sack elsewhere.
get on that. Hey, I got a special on my listen.
It's them big old ears.
Mhm.
First time it actually gives me something below my number.
I mean, the only reason I got mine is because my power's active at the moment.
So yeah, you're hearing the conversation going on outside.
Mhm.
You can hear the lady. She kind of, this was all in the living room. She kind of stepped back in the kitchen. You can hear her kind of nervously pouring herself some tea or something.
Hmm.
The perfectly ordinary looking gentleman out front. He has very slowly and carefully reached into his coat pocket, pulled out a little spiral notepad with a pencil shoved into it.
Do I hear anything with my special?
Let's see, you're outside as well.
I'm inside.
Yeah. Outside.
Just here, just too late for a car speeding over the other way. There's dice being rolled.
Well, there was dice being rolled before, but it was different dice for different reasons.
There's a whole elaborate
You
fight
think
scene
you
going
hear
on in the
something
back.
in the alleyway next to the house.
Can I walk over and lean and see and look down the alleyway of the house?
You would have to kind of
from-
hop off the stoop.
Mm.
And like I said, it's not a long drop. It's not something Teeks will have trouble with.
You just
And the ordinary guys they're not in they haven't circled the stoop. They're just standing at the bottom of the stoop. And there's still traffic going by. There's still a few people on the streets. Not as many as there were, because there's a dude with a rifle over there.
Yeah.
So is there 4 people? Is there 4 people in front of the house?
There are 4 people standing at the base of the stoop. One guy is writing on his notepad.
Okay.
No, that would be an insight that I don't have. I was gonna say, do I get the sense that he's intentionally writing very slowly? If you
Give me an insight roll.
Yeah.
I will say while this is happening, Michael is going to go to the guy's room that we have him in
Success!
Nice.
and basically kind of stand guard, more or less.
Okay.
Just hanging out with him.
And yet Tico, there's no railing on this stoop, right?
No. There's no
Okay.
safety rules like that in the 20s.
Tico drop down and just walk over to the house and just look down the alleyway.
V's trying to keep an eye on both the normal guys and where Teak is going, just making sure no one makes any super sudden moves.
So he'll look down the alleyway.
2 of the ordinary men in front of you are they're watching Teak, but they're not making any moves to follow him or anything like that. All right, so Salvador, with your success, yes, you get the impression he's stalling. Teak,
All
you
right,
peek
he's
a-
stalling.
Teak, you peek around the corner. You see a perfectly ordinary businessman, except for two things.
He
One,
got
he
5
seems to-
arms.
One, he seems to have kicked his shoes off. And two,
That's
he's
weird.
halfway up to the second floor window, climbing on just flat brick wall.
Teak
That's
pulls
sick.
down. Teak pulls out his gun. He's like, "Well, I suggest you come down, sir."
Is that loud enough to where she hears it? In the
Oh
front?
yeah, Teak screams it out.
Meanwhile, Michael, inside, you're headed back to the room.
Yep.
As you step into the hallway, there's a perfectly ordinary looking guy that looks like that is slowly reaching, not slowly, he's reaching toward the doorknob of the room you're headed towards.
Sir,
He's
I suggest
ordinary,
you back away
except
from
there is
that
like a
door.
bandana sort of thing pulled down from under his hat over his face, obscuring his face.
Step away from the door.
All right. Now, for no particular reason, we're going to set up the initiative order.
No, just a regular, ordinary combat.
A perfectly
Yep.
ordinary, unremarkable initiative.
With a murder of ordinary gentlemen.
Yeah. Depending on how this goes, Michael might absolutely kill this guy.
I'm gonna toss in a couple. Well, yeah, actually, they're all in there because I'm gonna keep the initiative with the firearm.
Okay.
I will also.
Okay.
Might have to be flipped around.
I have a simple question that I think can be resolved, but Teak has 2 pistols. Would it be safe to assume that I could go bang bang and that way I'd like extend my ammo? Like shoot with once and then the next round shoot with the second?
Yeah, I have no problem.
Oh, do
with that.
like a Kimbo?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Teak's akimboing right now.
We love that for him.
We've heard of Knives Out. Now we're going for Guns Akimbo.
All right, let's see here.
A Teak bow.
Okay, that's the 4 on the. I did not put enough perfectly ordinary men tokens down.
What is initiative based off of again?
Dexterity.
Yeah,
Dexterity.
it's just your dex. You just listed in dexterity order. There's no
Sure.
rolling.
I have
And
a 12, and I'm
If you're
not on the top
firing
of-
multiple times, you take 5 from it to put your
Okay.
next round, and then so on.
Sounds good. If you could put me on the turn tracker twice, I would appreciate that.
You can add yourself.
Can I? Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
Jason
I'm
will
not
have
on the
to
thing at
reorder
all.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reorder here in a second anyway.
Oh yeah, there you are.
At turn. 12, and then -5 would put me at 7. Am I
Yes.
mathing correctly?
Yep.
Peek behind the curtain, folks. I've had a very long day.
My
For a
days
game all
never
about
has flown
dice.
by.
For a
I
game
sat
all about dice,
down-
we're all horrible at math.
Sat down, forgot my hat, and I refused to get up because I'm too tired to do so.
And
Hey,
that's
it's
all we need.
It's a stressful situation. Teak might have lost his hat.
I'm making a hand.
It fell
sign
off when he
check for
hopped off the
this game.
stoop.
There you go.
There we go.
It works.
Cross the road. It's in the road.
It got run over 3 times in this conversation.
My poor hat.
All right.
Those are like City of Heroes NPCs.
All right, we're gonna add their turn.
Don't know what you're talking about. They probably totally are.
Mm-mm-mm.
And put them in descending order. All right, top of the order are the Invisible Men.
Why are all the ordinary men going first?
Because it's based on decks, and their decks is
I know. I'm just
Mhm.
All
They
right.
are the thin men. Those bastards.
All right, so
stretch
the,
out like
yeah.
Doug Jones.
so the first two guys
Don't even get me started on them. Ugh.
on who now?
I hated those guys.
Which ones?
The thin men.
Don't think I'm familiar with them.
You ever play XCOM?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I remember them
Yeah?
just from the original classic game. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they were
Hello.
ironically easier to deal with in the second.
Yes.
They were much
They're-
easier to deal with in the second.
Well, the first
Hello,
game was
human.
was extraordinarily hard.
It was backbreakingly hard.
Hello, human. I will shake your hand with my human hand.
Oh, you're poisoned now. Sorry.
All
You're
right,
gonna get me
top of
started
the
on me. I'm
order
gonna spit on you
is
now.
the one that's inside with Michael.
Fun.
Oh.
And Michael, you've got a pistol in your hand, correct?
Yes, I do.
He doesn't say a word. There's just a flick of the wrist. You see a split second of a knife in his hand, and then the knife is flying at you.
Okay.
Cool.
This is fine.
What do you have? A knife! No!
That's
No!
going to be a success.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
We'll try to dodge, but it ain't great.
Ain't great. Sometimes I've saved us a bunch.
The insight just saved me, so.
Aw.
Is what it is.
there's my D4.
I'm going to get my I'm gonna get my backpack. I'll be back in a sec.
That is 3 points of damage, Michael.
Okay.
Because the knife catches you in, the muscle of the arm, one of your arms.
All right then.
And then he opens the door and jumps into the room.
Okay.
You hear a scream inside the room. Not like oh crap, I'm being murdered scream, but a oh crap, somebody just jumped in here with you.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Teak, the one you saw scaling the wall towards the already open second story window.
Yep. He's just gonna keep going, I assume.
Well, you told him he needed to come down, right?
Yep.
So he looks down at you, and when he turns his head, you realize he's got one of those bandanas pulled down, obscuring his face. And he leaps off the wall at you.
Okay.
So he is doing exactly what you told him to do. He is coming down.
Yep.
Knife
and
in
we're going
hand,
to.
aiming at you.
Where's my dodge? There it is. No, but that's okay.
All right, he got a success.
Yep.
You did not. You did not.
Nope.
Ooh, that is 5 points of damage as he slashes the
Ouch.
mess out of you.
Yay, okay. Teak's fine.
What do you mean, Teak's fine?
He took 5 points of damage. He has 18 health right now, so it's okay right now.
Just about a third of his health. He's fine.
He's fine.
Right, some of us he's chilling.
It's not the first time Teak's been stabbed. I mean, come on.
This is fair.
No, if you're gonna stab me, you need to go at it this angle. Come on.
Just looking at the
Call
guy, it's
yourself a
like,
henchman?
Come on,
scales.
fella. I've had friends
it's
stab me
here.
harder than that.
It's here, not here. Here.
Between the ribs. Come on. None of this slashing crap.
Amateur hour.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Then it is the spokesman in front of you, Salvador, or at this bottom of the stoop.
Yep.
You just hear him. It's always regrettable when we have to be ungentlemanly. And we're in a weirdly synchronized, almost perfectly synchronized fashion. They both reach up. All four of them reach up. Right at their hairline, grab something, pull down the bandana.
Yep.
All of their hair goes.
I don't know
It's
how
a third eye
far
they're whittling with.
some of you have got into Old Gods, but these guys give me Hollow Man vibes.
They very much do.
Great, now I'm going to watch that show or listen to that show just to know what's going on.
Context.
Well, I mean, if we're playing it next year, yeah, I'd advise it.
It's righteously creepy. It's great.
Yeah.
All right, and the four of them rush up the stairs.
Okay.
Which, let's see.
Yeehaw.
Salvador and Vivian are on the stairs.
And Leo, if we're playing him, or if we want to just leave him out as far as stuff goes. Or if you want to Jaeger him.
I have an idea. All right, but the first guy is going after, and, all of them do this little flip with their arm, and suddenly there's a knife in there.
Sure.
Clearly produced from up the sleeve. Salvador, you've never seen anybody do that with a knife, but you knew a guy back in the trenches that would do that with cards. At least until y'all caught him and, beat the snot out of him.
Good times.
Salvador New Gambit?
Ah ha 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 ha.
All right, first guy rolled an 80,
Gotta make
which
a name
is
for
not
himself
a
here.
success.
Mm-hmm.
But he runs and kind of slashes at Salvador without much success.
CQC, baby.
The second guy also goes after Salvador.
Yep.
44 is a success for him.
Oh. Do I want to reroll that? Is it worth it right now?
It's just
Save it. There's going to be a lot more
Yeah.
horrible things
just
happening,
enough.
probably.
Two of
It's
them want
just
to jump me with
knife.
a knife, and one of them nicks me. Whatever.
I'm sure the knives aren't poisoned. 3 points of damage. See, you're fine.
I'm fine.
Vivian, one goes after you.
That doesn't seem very gentlemanly.
Well, they said it was regrettable when they had to be ungentlemanly. If you just
I
let
don't
them
think
talk to the person they wanted to talk to, it would have been fine.
I don't think they're gentlemen at all.
54 is a success.
That's great.
Would you like to dodge?
Sure, why not? Can I dodge if I get attacked again? Is it I able to? If I get attacked again, am I able to dodge on that one, or is it just one reaction per initiative order?
This is where I forget to tell. I tell you guys, I forgot to send that email out to that person.
Well, it's not too late. After game, I'll remind you.
Yeah.
Still, I rolled. I
hey,
made a dodge. I'll take it. We'll just go with it.
Ooh, and it's a special.
Just idly steps out of the way. He stabs the building.
Basically, she just sort of rotates and he stabs the door.
She's been hanging around with Lilac for a while. She's learning the art of pretending to be small.
And flittering about.
Yep.
The top of the stoop's getting a little crowded at this point. As the last guy charges up at Leo. They get tangled up and they both fall off the side of the stoop.
Nice.
And they're like wrestling around down there.
Well, that's one way to take care of that.
Kick his ass, Leo!
Let's see, that is. And the first one y'all that gets to go is Leo. So you just hear coming from down the street. And then it is Vivian.
I will say during that little dodge, she pulled out the tiny pistol, and she's going to take a shot at the guy that tried to throw a knife at her.
Yeah, sounds fair.
Is there a roll for point blank shots?
Yes. Your skill ranking is doubled for the shot.
Okay.
Excellent. That'll be very handy
So-
here in a sec.
What does that mean? Just double it? Like, so if I have 71, I have 142 now?
Yes. However, doing a skill with an easy rating does not give you an experience check, unfortunately.
I'm okay. I just want to murder people. Just going to write down somewhere that 71 is what I've got.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't really matter what the skill is when you roll a 1.
Yeah.
Because
Yes, you just roll a 1.
The best you can do. All right, so that is a critical.
Yeah.
So
Does this man exist anymore? Is he just like based on the stupid?
I believe for a firearm, the special rule is impaling.
yes, it falls under impaling.
Which does extra damage, I think.
Let me know how much damage I need to roll.
I'm looking up the. All right, impaling damage. All right, doubles weapons dice damage. Modifiers add normally, so you don't double the modifier, you double the dice.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so that is
7.
7 points of damage. Let's see, it was the third one of these. So you've done 7 to him. Mark his token. That is over half of his health. So give me a D100 roll to see on his to see where you see what you did to him on the major wound table. I'll get the words out of him.
24. Oh, or I could just roll the major wound.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was on the sheet. Yeah. Just roll it on the sheet.
A punctured lung leads to a weakened respiratory system.
Oh dear.
Lose 1d6 con, may affect hit points, damage bonus, and reduces movement by the number of units equal to the 1d6 result you rolled.
All right, go ahead and give me that 1d6 roll if you'd like to. And it's respiratory system or a deep stomach wound. There's some options there, but I like respiratory system just fine. All right, so his con drops by 2.
She would be kind of like trying to aim up away from aiming across the street.
Well, I
She's
can
short
see you
lungs.
kind of dodging, kind of falling back a little bit, and just sort of firing from the hip. So I could see it being kind of an upward shot. So yeah, definitely a grunt. And he stumbles back a step, and he's sort of a wet. He's coughing, and it's sort of a sort of wet cough.
Ooh.
Even with the little mask he pulled down being dark, you can tell it's getting moist. Salvador.
Hi. Salvador, there's 2 people on him. He's gonna take the one he was speaking with and just kind of like press the butt back a little bit to give him some space and then fire. Just
all right, I'm not going to give you the easier to fire in close combat because you're trying to fight you're trying to fight somebody in your face with a rifle. That's not easier.
That means if you make it, you get the XP roll.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Success.
Hey, nice.
Nice.
Oh wait, that's pistol. My bad.
Oh.
Shucks.
I mean,
Almost.
I feel much better about my rifle than I do my pistol.
Still nice.
Special.
Hey!
Even better.
That was even better.
All right, Roll20, what are you doing to us?
We're gonna all. There's gonna come a boomerang effect. Don't worry.
Mhm.
Roll20 has a story somewhere to tell tonight.
No kidding.
So just like pushes them back a little bit to like get them in range, and then fires point blank with the rifle, which should hurt. Okay. My damage is 2d6, so let me know where to go from there.
All right, so you got a special damage summary.
What page numbers are these on, just so we can mark them ourselves too?
Wow, I've got the little summary roll thing I'm looking at right now.
It's got the GM screen.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay, so the special does doubles the weapon's damage. So you roll double the dice you normally roll.
4d6.
46 was 4.
Probably means the actual critical should do something even extra specially.
What did the major wound?
19 points of damage.
This man just dead.
This man just dead.
Straight up dead.
There's just, there's, a little entrance wound and a rather large exit wound. He falls back off the stoop. People in other parts of the street are screaming at this point.
Good.
Some of it's just
Is
shrieking. You hear one man's like, "Good God!"
Is it blood or is it like red blood?
Oh yeah, it looks like normal old blood and viscera.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm sure this is going to go well for us, guys. There's not going to be any
There's gonna be
consequences for
there's a hell of
shooting
a smear
people.
campaign going on right now.
There isn't going to be any consequences for shooting people in the mostly human part of the city as elves and kobolds and an orc.
Yep. Nothing can go wrong.
We're fine, guys. There's no repercussions. Anyone know how Detroit's looking? We could probably move there.
No. We can't do Detroit. I'm doing Detroit in my other game.
The crossover
in my
potential.
In my superhero game, they're in Detroit, so I know.
We're in Hawaii. We need a
We
vacation.
got to go to Duluth. We're going to Duluth.
One of the guys did post a website that's all about like cryptic stuff in Detroit.
It's us. We are the cryptic
It's
stuff in
us.
Detroit.
You could be. All right, Eric, you're up. You're alone in the hallway with a new knife.
He's going to make it so that he is not alone in the hallway with a new knife, and he is charging into that room.
With a knife.
And if I remember correctly, the room the guy was hiding in was like a study.
Yeah.
It was kind of an interior room. Didn't have like an outside window.
Mhm.
Down here in the South, that's the room you'd go to in a case of a tornado.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like it was a back room, and then they added on to the building, so it got kind of closed off.
Mm.
Anyway, Mr. Collis is on the other side of his desk, and it's like he's like picked his chair up, and is like trying to use that to keep the guy at a distance. The ordinary-looking fellow, or going by Mr. Collis's suspicions last time, he referred to these people as the Invisible Men.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start just using their name now.
Okay.
So yeah, he's swatting at the Invisible Man to try to keep him back.
Yeah,
And the
Michael's
Invisible Man it's like he's trying to move where he can keep the door and this guy in line, in sight as you come in. Because he knew you were up behind him.
Yeah, no, he's. I will say, as he is, yay.
It's not invisible in court.
It's still the vibe check, but basically he's doing it to see like what kind of like magical stuff this guy has on him in particular. Because he clocked like all of them have like some kind of magic like protection on them.
Well,
So he wants to see where it's concentrated. Since his sight does let him see that kind of thing while it's active.
Yeah, and I think you got a special last game.
I did,
which is why
yes.
which is why I gave you a hint as to what type of magic it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it was protection magic, I said.
Yes.
Okay. As far as like where it's centered, kind of at the heart.
Okay.
Like not dead center, to one side like the heart is.
Uh-huh.
Oh god, we're shooting Time Lords.
The Time Lords at the heart.
Yeah, that's true.
It's next to the second.
But that seems to be where it's the most intense, and then the effect kind of spreads out over the rest of it.
Okay. So Michael is, because there's someone he's trying to protect in here. He's not going to bother with the pistol. So that's getting holstered as he closes in, and he's just going to swing directly for that spot.
Okay. Give me a brawl, I believe it is.
Yes.
Oh, that's brutal.
You got pointer to reroll it.
Hold on. It's I'm mathing. If I do the reroll and do the skill again, do I get the XP check or no? I don't remember which one gave it and which one didn't.
I'm pretty sure the luck roll does not give it.
Luck roll does
So if
not.
you just
Okay.
re-roll the skill, I think you're fine.
All right. There we go. Success.
Success.
Which is below the martial arts one, so there's an extra D3 in there.
Did it put the extra D3 in there?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
So it's 6 total. Right. Sorry. I'm used to I play
Warhammer math.
Yeah, I play Warhammer so much. I'm used to auto calculating D6s into D3s.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so a 5 is a 3. Yeah, it's 1 and 2 is 1, 3, 4 is 2, 5, 6 is 3. So
Right.
6 damage total.
All right, and that is exactly half.
We just really need to convert to the metric system for dice.
Well, it's supposed to generate something on the major wound table because you got to half his hit points in one lick.
Yeah.
That might not have because it was only in one skill roll, or wasn't in one skill roll.
Well, it was,
Well,
is the
it's still-
thing.
Yeah, but I
Is,
mean, it wasn't all 6 points in the weapon roll.
Yeah, because the sheet itself won't let me do it. But the thing with how martial arts works is if you roll below the value for both, then you get a D3 for each combined into a
Yeah.
total value.
All
So
right, can you click
Roll
the
major wound.
major wound button? All right.
That's actually pretty good.
All right, so let's see. Wrist hand damage.
He can't use a knife. Ha ha!
Your character's still able to fight with the weapon, but not a shield.
No.
yeah,
Yeah, basically you.
but I do.
I'm
Reduce
going to
their
say in his
strength
flailing around that
by
you managed to
1.
basically, like grab his arm and just pop his elbow in the, bend his arm back and make his elbow bend in the wrong direction.
Actually, there's a specific thing that I was actually trained in IRL. So I say like he comes at me with a punch, grab the wrist, twist it, then just like palm strike into the elbow and just crack it.
That's kind of what I was thinking, something like that. Yeah. So it loses a D3 of strength.
Lost 1.
Oh, you already rolled it over.
Yeah.
All right, so his strength drops to that. Man, all these guys are losing stats.
Shame.
We'll call this one Eric's.
He's your responsibility now.
You now have to have
I
the
will
hospital bill to fix his arm.
You
No.
don't have to do a hospital bill if he's dead.
Then it's Vivian again.
We're gonna shoot the guy again. Still with the double because in close range?
Yep, still in close range.
Yes.
Did he try to dodge the last one?
I don't believe so. If you did, you didn't say anything.
He'll try to dodge this one. And with an 11, I would say that's probably a success. Let me check that little matrix thing now. All right, so you got a success. He got a success.
Dun, 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 dun.
Attack partially parried or dodged. Oh wait, that's a special and a success. Hang on. Success. Defender blocks or dodges damage. No other. Blocks or dodges damage. No other result. So.
Yep.
So he managed to get out of the way of it. Teak.
So he jumped at me. Is he on top of me? Next to me?
He landed in front of you and slashed you as he landed. So he was standing right in front of you. Knife, bloody knife in hand.
Okay. Teak's the perfect private part height. So gun in private and fire.
Why? It is close range, so
This man woke up and chose violence.
How about a 6 with a 100?
6 is pretty good.
Well, it's a 96, but yeah. But
That
6
really
damage.
that really didn't want you to succeed there, but it did.
Yeah.
it was like.
But if that's half, then
I think he doubled it in the.
I did. Close combat, I doubled it so that it was up to 100. Rolled it. I rolled a 96. I deal 6 damage.
yeah. And I did 6 damage and did exactly half.
Roll them. Hit the major wound button if you would.
I think we know what the major wound is.
Yeah.
Wrist or hand? I don't know how it ricochets to his arm, but okay.
He's trying to cover it. He sees where you're going. It's trying to cover
calf muscle.
The higher calf muscle.
Several fingers or toes have been severed.
Yeah.
My only other question is, does he fall to his knees?
That says the character is still able to fight.
He's still able to fight, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't fall to his knees because of pain.
I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here internally hearing Teak go, "Take his knees."
Well, what his knees Teak was going for.
Nope.
Well,
where no man should shoot.
Let's say depending on what
roll me a d6 Teak to see how much strength he loses.
I forget which Star Trek episode it was, but like I think it was Archer kicks some guy in the knees, and that's where his
that was in one of the classic OG Cruise movies. Kirk winds up in jail, or in prison.
Mm-hmm.
2 strength.
All right. -2.
I just happened to remember that when take the knees. I'm like, oh wait.
We're gonna call that one Teaks.
He certainly owns them now.
Yep. But no, he does not fall to his knees.
Okay. He just looks up. It's like, keep going. He's like shaking his other gun, and that's all Teak's doing.
So yeah, so this guy, tried to get his hand in the way, and all he got for his trouble was a bullet through his hand and still into other stuff.
They're supernatural. They're not falling over after this.
Yeah.
Salvador, were you gonna take a second shot?
Yes. I still have one person accosting me, right?
Correct.
Yep. I'll fire at them.
They will dodge, of course.
Failure.
Oh, well,
interesting.
They don't have to. Never mind.
I mean, if you want to re-roll.
I think I do want to re-roll, actually.
Burn all those points early in the session.
Fortunately, power regenerates pretty quickly.
It's 5, right?
So.
Yep.
Yes.
You use 5 to.
Excellent. I will do just that. Jesus Christ!
Success.
All right, so he
right on the right on the dot.
And he got a 17, which is definitely a success.
Okay. Does that just cancel out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he got out of the way.
Perfect.
And then
Teak,
Teak
I
gets to take a
offered.
second shot.
Yep. He's like, I offered. Shoot. 4 more damage.
I think he's tried to dodge once already, so ain't much left of this guy, but he is still up.
Okay.
Is it SR/attacks is how many we can do in an initiative round?
SR per attack is 3 attacks per round. So
Oh,
you can
and I
only
have
do
another one.
Yeah, so you can only do, like, for me I have light pistols, which technically we're just doing where I can stagger them. So I still only get the 3 attacks with those weapons. I mean,
Then
I can't go to the negatives.
I would have another shot this round, actually.
Yeah, if you get a third shot, you get your third shot before Teak would get his third shot.
Okay.
Mhm.
I added it into initiative if you want to move it around at any point, or just leave it where it is. It threw it at the bottom. And I will roll it.
Well, where did it go? I was sliding.
It's at the bottom. I just added it because I hadn't had it
okay.
added before.
I grabbed it when it still said 0. Then you probably changed fixed the number at that
Yep.
point.
Success. She's aiming for the same guy.
And he just dodged, so that's a hit. Can you do 2 points of damage to him?
Let's find out. Oh wait, that wasn't the damage. No. I can re-roll it, or we can go with that.
Well, it broke that damage that it rolled
Yeah,
for a pistol, so
that's fine.
So 1 point of damage. And you said you were shooting at the guy that fighting Teak.
Yeah. No, I'm not around the corner. I couldn't get the guy.
Oh,
Teak.
that's
I'm
fair,
shooting
that's
at the
fair.
one that was
Fighting the guy who had his knife stuck in the door.
Yeah, the one that actively charged her.
Gotcha. That was the one that had -2 his con, I believe.
Yes, it was. I think -2 to the con. Yes, -2 to his con.
Let's see, and you've done how much damage to him before?
7, and then I missed on the last round. I think. No, he dodged on the last round, and I did 1 more here.
All right, so that's a total of 8 then. All right.
Mhm.
He's still fighting fit.
Then I get my last shot, I think.
Okay.
Well, I have a question. I can only shoot. I can't move, right? With this.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not
Double
entire
check.
extra actions. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
a
what
matter
I thought.
of How
I
fast
just-
you're pulling the trigger.
Yep. Boop. 4 more damage.
All right, and this is the guy that needed 2 damage done to him. So he drops.
To just shoot. Yeah. He's like, I offered, and then he turns around to walk back towards his front.
Very calm. Very cool guys don't make explosions.
Same first guy Teak's killed.
No.
I mean, he killed what 4, 3, 2, 3 in the first.
This isn't even
Combat
his
wave.
second rodeo.
All right, I believe that's the end of the round.
Yep. So you have 2 that are dead, or 2. Well, 1 that's dead. 2 that's dead.
All right, let's see.
1.
This guy is dead because Teak killed him. Salvador killed a guy.
Mhm.
Is that all? Yeah. Because Vivian's is still alive.
Yeah.
He's not in good shape, but he is alive. The spokesperson.
Spokesperson's dead.
Oh, I deleted the wrong one then.
It's still showing
I
on the initiative order, just so you know,
Got
Jason.
his ass immediately. I was like, nope, no spokesman.
We're done talking.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. So top of the order is the guy inside fighting Michael.
Mhm.
Well, he ain't real happy about that arm. So he's, at this point, completely ignoring, dude behind his desk.
Mm-hmm.
Dude behind his desk is not a threat. Dude behind the desk is literally sitting there with his chair out like a lion tamer. Just, wiggling it around in front of him to keep people back.
Back, vile creature!
So the Invisible Man's, steps back into another corner. He's not cradling the damaged arm. He's just letting it hang kind of loose next to him. As he reaches into his coat and comes out with a little, looks like almost like a little tube. And he puts it to his mouth and blows.
Dogs within a 5-block radius are just startled. Wait, Teak has huge ears. Does Teak hear it?
Teak's outside. Oh, you.
Yes!
The dice tell the story.
The dice tell the story. So he brings his little blowgun up and
Inhales
you
the
feel
dart.
the wind off the dart zip by your head and thump in the door you just walk through. It's like a little needle.
Okay. Uh-huh.
This will be admitted as evidence later.
Just a glance over your shoulder as it goes by, you can tell at least the front half of the needle is like glistening with some sort of liquid.
Okay.
Starts injecting into the wood.
The wood starts throwing up.
And screaming.
The wood is paralyzed. It's stiff as a board.
Should have led with that.
I'll see myself out.
Alright, so that's him. Then it is the one still fighting Salvador.
Yep.
Yeah, his best bet's to stay in close. So he comes at you with the knife again.
Yep.
Not throwing it, he's stabby,
Sure.
slice. All right, so my last roll was a 90, and this one's a 95. So all the blood on the stoops making it slippery. He's having trouble with his footing.
It's okay. I'll fix that in a sec.
Next up is the guy that Vivian has shot, but who is still active. Page 11. What are the grapple rules?
No, don't grapple her. She's just a tiny, unthreatening elf.
Is this random thing that I just read? Is this 1924 or 1925?
25.
25.
Okay. Milwaukee just introduced their first tool last year.
Nice.
It's a drill.
It is.
I know it's a drill.
I have a picture.
Yep, I have that drill.
Did you look it up too?
No, I have that drill.
Ah,
I have ancient, by our standards,
technology.
technology. My dad used to have a lot of vintage tools.
Oh, well, I'm not seeing a wrestling or grappling off the top of my head. At a glance, I should say. I don't remember it off the top of my head, so I guess he'll just try to knife her. Ooh, he rolled a 2.
That's not nice.
Let's see, his dagger skill is
Vivian,
75.
no.
I'm fine.
That's a critical. Unless you, can dodge it.
Sure, let's give it a shot. Nah, bro.
Alright, so what happens? Let me check the chart on that one. Alright, so it's a critical. The attack is a critical.
Mm-hmm. Probably a major wound.
And the parry dodge is the fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Attack achieves
They actually
critical
have a rule.
success.
Yes.
Mhm.
May choose a special success instead. Why would I do that? Attack does maximum damage plus normal damage modifier.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Damage is a defender's armor value does not apply. Not really an issue
Fantastic. Yeah.
here. Though considering y'all are getting in knife fights now, leather coats
We
might
should-
be a good idea. Just
Yeah. We should look into that next rest.
Let's see. Defender rolls on the appropriate fumble table. Oh, is there a fumble table?
All I can say is at least Michael isn't seeing this Inferno Man.
Melee weapon attack fumble.
I'm sure it would be fine.
Hold on. There's a. Hold on. There's a thing Sarah sent me.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
I will put in the group chat of like if he saw this,
Is it the Roy Mustang?
you would see this coming out the door. Hold on, let me.
Oh no, I remember that one. I'll find it.
I already found it. I got it.
Okay, so rolling on the fumble table. Vivian,
Am I dead?
in your flailing about, getting hit and flailing about, you lose the grip of your gun and you throw it 1d 10 meters away.
Oh wow.
All right. Am I rolling that up? All right, I was gonna have to reload it soon, anyways. Oh well. Am I rolling that or you?
I will. 6 meters. So it goes
Fantastic.
flying off
So
and it lands like right next to the road, kind of in the gutter.
in Eagles, that's 18 feet.
Sounds right.
No.
no,
No, I think
meters is 3
That's
feet,
30 feet.
6.
That's 30 feet. Yeah, 3 meters is 15. 6 is 30, I think.
Well,
How?
a
think-
meter is
I'm-
basic, a meter is
A meter
basically
is
a
3
yard,
feet.
so that's 6 yards. To put it
19
in-
feet.
To put it
So
in
I was
freedom
wrong.
units.
So yeah,
Yeah, but 18,
20,
19
20, 20-ish feet. Yeah. I was thinking
Half.
something else. Yep.
And this, folks, is
At
why
least
we
I
don't
didn't get a
convert to
major.
metric. It would be anarchy.
How many points of damage did I take?
Honest.
Oh, I hadn't even rolled that yet. I was so excited about the fumble
Dang.
tables and stuff.
You don't roll.
Oh, that's right. I don't roll because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
maximum damage. So he rolled, let's see, D4.
It was max doubled.
So that's 8. Plus the normal pluses he gets, which is a 2. That does not double. So 10 points of damage.
Okay. I'm good.
Are you at the halfway point?
Yeah.
Did that one attack? Would that one attack? be
Yeah.
halfway?
Oh no.
Major wounds.
Woo.
Jason, you get to roll on the table.
But the other one who had a major wound, was that Michael the last time we had one?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
25. Wrist or hand damage.
Oh,
that's pretty
man.
appropriate. You lost your gun and your wrist snapped in the process.
Doesn't Vivian play the violin?
Vivian plays violin and piano, so
Oh no.
Let's
she's got a job that
see.
she hasn't told anyone much about at a place playing violin and piano.
Well, you're also singing, son.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to sing a lot more now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do I need to lose 1d6 strength?
1d3.
I thought it in the major wound, at least on like Car's one, was also wrist hand.
Uh,
There's probably one that's 1d3 and there's one that's 1d6.
That's fair.
yeah, this one says 1d3, so
Okay.
Don't question them.
you're
all
still
right?
able to fight with a weapon, but not with a shield.
All right.
I don't have a weapon anymore.
So you lose 3 strength.
Okay. And how does strength affect hit points? I forget.
It
It does not. It's con and size that affect hit points.
Fantastic. I'm just putting my strength temporarily over in distinctive features.
Yeah, it's fine. So basically, you're flying about and the knife catches you right across all these major tendons here.
She's pretty much clutching her wrist now.
It's fine. It's pride. You're allowed to limp wrist.
Thank you for that. Thank you for the permission. It's the 20s. 1920s.
Yeah.
She has a lavender wrist for the month, okay? Just leave her alone.
And then the next guy, oh yeah, that's the one down there wrestling around with Patrick.
How's it going with him?
All right, he gets his iron hands to go off. Oh wait,
Does it do anything
I'm sorry. That
special
was
if
me
you
rolling
crit?
Patrick. I should be rolling for. I should be rolling for the dude fighting Patrick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That is not a great roll, but it is a success. All right, so Patrick's taking 4 points of damage. Then it's his turn. He made the iron fist, or iron hand rather, because they didn't want to get sued, I'm sure. Where's Brawl? So that is 6 points of damage, except that the iron hand adds your POW to unarmed damage. That's got to be points he spends, though, I'm sure. Let me look it up.
It's based on however many points he spends casting the power.
Okay, that's fair. I'll say, how many does he have? Okay. I'll say he spent 5. So that is 11 points of damage. Off of this guy's 12. Where's that major wounds button? Alright, much of the nose has been sliced away, or in this case, crushed in. Multiple scars. Oh, wait, it's... Okay, basically he just F this guy's face up. He ain't gonna look right for a while.
He doesn't quite look like a normal man anymore. He's gonna have to get into a different department.
An ordinary man with an ordinary broken nose.
He has cauliflower face now.
And then top of the order is Vivian.
Is there anything for like improvised attack?
Well, you can
Like
you can just brawl to punch or kick somebody. The damage is a D3 for
Cool.
that. Plus whatever strength modifier you might have. Or damage modifier.
It's set in there just as base for 25, so that would just be pretty much what you have unless you dump points into it.
Right, 25 would be the bare minimum.
Cool. Just double checking I didn't black out and give her brawl for some reason. Nope, we didn't. Okay. She's gonna use the non-damage hand to try and punch this guy in the face.
Okay.
No.
Alright, natural weapon fumble table.
It's the best of times.
Give me a
It was the
D100
worst
roll.
of times. Oh, come on, man.
Oh God. You all right over there?
No, clearly not. No one can hurt me but me.
Lose next 1d3 combat rounds or other activity.
Cool. You want to roll it, or would you like me to?
Oh, you go ahead. You're doing great.
Thanks. Hey.
All right, so
I'm doing great.
you're going to miss a round.
Fantastic. She like tries to punch, stumbles forward. It's very awkward for both of them.
There's a
Or maybe
moment
you
where, like,
overextend and then you try to, and then you overcompensate. And you're almost falling off the edge of the stoop. So you're
Of the
sitting there,
stoop, yeah.
arms pinwheeling for a moment as you catch your balance.
Mm-mm.
Salvador.
I would like to interject myself as I'm picturing this stoop and this battlefield going on. I would like to interject myself between Vivian and their person, but still firing at my target. Like, I'm not leaving his threat range, but I want to make
Pivoting.
my way in that direction.
Okay. You just sort of stepping around her opponent while you shoot at yours.
Yeah. Yep.
Fair enough. Carry on.
64 success.
All right. Your target's going to try to dodge.
Yep.
And with an 85, I suspect that he has failed. Yes, that is a failure, so fire your damage.
That is 15 points of damage.
Oakley dokley. Well, that is the spokesperson dead. Well,
The other person that
Yeah.
you took over for the spokesperson. So I think he just like he shuffles down like over the knife, goes to like move in the direction where he's seeing Vivian very obviously flail, and just party shot right there.
so
Takes off
Teak,
a
were
piece
you killed your guy and you turned around just time to have this body go pop in the ground in front of you.
Yep.
Oh.
Right as you get back to the edge of the
Good
building.
shot. You just hear Teak. Good
And
shot.
You've been hearing a lot of gunfire.
Yeah. It's not been phasing him. He's just been like, okay.
Takes like gunfire, screaming. It's just like the old days.
Yeah.
All right, and back inside, Mr. Anderson.
Let's see.
Break a leg, Mr. Anderson.
That's not.
No.
I didn't say whose leg.
Yeah.
Break a leg of a chair.
How loud did Vivian scream when she got cut?
She did not.
She did not? Okay. So there would not be. Okay. Making sure. Success. It's not under the martial art, so it's just 2 damage.
Shock is a hell of a drug, folks.
Correct.
Said it was 2. 1 moment.
Call from exhaustible. Hello. Call from exhaustible. Hello.
Hello?
I don't know if that was
Oh,
coming
wow.
across or not, but I went ahead and muted. All right.
Oh, you're good.
Did I write down the damage Eric had done to that guy?
He's done 8 in total.
That one down there was her. Okay, yeah. All right, so you clocking across the chin. He takes it fairly well. He's still got that one arm.
Yeah.
That's right, because you did exactly 6.
Mhm.
Which is what triggered his. Yeah. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, you hear Mr. Collis behind you. Get him! Get him! All right, the next one. Well, it's not Vivian because he doesn't have a gun anymore.
Yep.
Teak, however, still has his gun.
Teak's. So, how far is Teak from, like, what's happening on the stoop?
Basically, you hopped down and rounded the corner, and pretty much we're just standing around the corner. So you basically turn around, take a step, and you're back.
Okay, and there's
You know,
two
which is
more
why the
guys.
guy falling off the stoop landed right in front of you.
Okay, and there's two more guys on the stoop.
There's one guy on the stoop that, like, Salvador, it looks like Salvador, you see Salvador just finishing as he slides between Vivian and that guy. And then you hear tussling going on the other side of the stoop from you.
Okay.
Which is where
Teek's
Patrick's
gonna
from,
walk
where,
around to where he
Neil's
has
family is.
a good shot of both,
Okay.
and he's going to pop the one that's fighting Vivian first.
Okay.
He does
That's
not.
one
He
health point.
misses.
Okay. Salvador,
Oh wait,
you're-
would he be in close range again or no?
No, I like
Okay.
he would have walked around to where he could fire at both of them if he had to.
Never mind.
So Salvador, you're up.
All right. All right. Well, I just kind of look at this one and go, "That's no way to treat a lady," and I'll fire at him.
The one fighting Vivian, is that what the one we were
Yes,
talking about?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Success. Is he dodging?
Uh,
Or I should ask, is he successfully dodging?
he's attempting to dodge it. And in response to you, that's no way to treat a lady, he assures you he's a suffragist.
Equal rights, equal fights.
Right. Hey. She was equal enough to shoot one of my buddies. She's equal enough to get shot. That's him.
Sure.
All right, he rolled a 7 on his dodge, so that's a success.
Yep. Okay.
This guy's like holding onto his one health point with his very like nails.
You will take
Yeah,
this
he
last
is.
health point from my cold, dead hands.
Kind of, yeah.
Peek
That's
around the
the
corner.
idea.
Peek around the corner. Pew.
Yep. It-
And then it is Teak.
Because of Kimbo firing at the one on the other side of Salvador. Still no.
It's okay. I have to. What am I at? I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to reload.
Hit him with the gun.
I'm keeping
might.
I'm like, because I'm doing paper bullets, because I was like, I don't really want to lower and then try to remember what the number was. So I've just been
That's
like
a mood.
manually.
I have a dice.
Yeah.
I'm just switching.
Oh,
like,
that's a
around.
great idea. Oh, my dice are
know.
brittle.
All
So,
next
wait.
up,
Vivian still had a shot, and I had a shot still.
Vivian doesn't have a shot. She ain't got a gun.
I don't have a gun.
That's true, but I do.
I thought you had
I thought you
taken
just
your-
shot at
That was
the
your
one.
shot. You killed the
Was
guy.
that my shot then?
Or did you
Yeah.
kill the guy? Yeah, you killed the guy.
No. It was my second shot, because I went, Salvador went, I went. Then it would have been Vivian, then me again.
When did you kill the guy you had been fighting?
The last turn, before, like, you had another turn with your guy. I killed the last guy with the one of last turn.
All right, let's see. You would
So
be-
I have 3 turns of shots. 11, 6, and 1.
Go ahead and take your shot.
Yeah.
Third shot then.
And this one's at the one fighting Vivian. Hey, 6 damage.
I believe that guy is dead then?
Probably, maybe.
I believe that guy
Yes.
is dead. Dead,
Yeah,
dead.
sorry. I was just like, wait. I've only done 2.
I have more bullets than I should have right now.
Salvador has to reload.
All right, then we're to the
So
top of the
This
order.
would be a good opportunity to do so.
Guy inside the house.
Vivian, after that one guy drops, we should start moving these guys inside.
I think I need to get a mop.
And a bucket.
Wow. You should move him inside. I need a mop.
Let's see. He'd have a hard time reloading his blowgun with one hand.
He could do it. That's just all he can do for the round, I imagine.
Yep. He could always pull another knife. He's got plenty of knives.
It's actually not a guy, it's just a bunch of knives taped together. A knife automaton.
Yeah. Ha ha ha!
So yep, he's gonna whip out another knife
Okay.
and slash at you as he tries to maneuver around you to the door.
hmm
And the 96 is not gonna do it.
Nope.
There's a lot of really low rolls and a lot of really high rolls today.
Mm.
And then it is the guy fighting Patrick. And it's a success. Roll dice for Patrick. I can just roll on his sheet. So where's the dodge? Where is the dodge on this sheet?
It's over there.
Oh, thank you. I saw it. I found it.
If it's skills, then it's under. It's
I
on the
found
left
I
side.
finally
Okay.
found it. So 26 is a success. So Patrick dodges, and it'd be Patrick's turn. He wallops this guy for 3 damage plus the 5, so that's another 8. So yeah, he takes a big swing, catches the guy on the side of the head, and just drives that head into the brick wall.
Oh, I need to. Okay. Oops.
So the battle out on the street is done.
Woo.
We should move some
Uh,
bodies.
Vivian,
I
you spend this round
will-
catching your balance.
I go get my gun.
I will not reload. I will put my gun in my duffel bag and zip it back up again. And yeah, I will still start moving bodies.
So, on the fun note, because I've been looking at it while everyone's doing their thing, when the characteristic point lost from major wound is restored, it's a when characteristic point lost incurred from major wound has been regained, any effects from the wound are eliminated.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, once you heal back from that any lost strength, the lost whatever points are back as well. All right.
magical healing.
Speaking of magical healing, well, they'll have to wait till next round because Patrick's gone this round. So
Vivian would not be like asking anyone for healing right now. She'd be like, "We need to get these bodies inside. We're making a scene."
Someone's already probably called the cops.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
The street is clear at this point. You still have traffic
It's like
driving by, and they'll be driving by at normal speed, and then they'll look over at you and they floor it.
Mhm.
Honey, we've got to move.
You just see like someone
Sorry,
drive up,
your
they see
your
it.
description of that makes me think, because this is me with the background up. I worked traffic safety with the police department for several years. If they're looking somewhere else and then floor it, do they crash into something?
No, their head snaps back around.
Okay.
Rubbernecking. Is a
I
bitch.
just
You've got the one guy driving. Oh, kids, look at all these buildings. Roll them up.
I just imagine like one time like Teek's walking out of the alleyway, a car does that, Teek just waves with a gun in his hand and then just keeps going.
Can I do something while these two are having a fight in the back room that we don't know about?
Well, it is your turn, so there's something you want to do outside, yes.
Excellent. So Salvador puts his gun not down, but it's like hanging on his side. I want to check these individuals, like the one that hasn't gotten its brains blown out, and just see, because they were like this with their head like hairline. So I want to look into that.
Like if you pull it too far, does it like release
Remove
like
their
a
hat or
healing
whatever the case may be.
like an American cheese slice?
No, but if you tug it, it zips back up on its own. Like
What's a mini
style,
blind?
like those old style
Yeah.
blinds.
Oh, jeez.
That's fantastic.
I was kidding, but okay, now I almost want it to work.
Gotta change your game again.
The
So
lore is fluid.
when you lift off one of them's hat,
Uh-huh.
the little bandolier or bandana thing comes with it. It's sewn. The top edge is sewn into the hat, so apparently they have it folded up under the hat,
Okay.
where they can pull it down at a moment's notice.
What is there anything here that is weird,
No, not really. Yeah.
or are they just wearing?
They've got
weird
hair,
uniforms?
hat hair, because they wear hats all the time.
Just
Maybe one of them's
kind of-
balding or something, but
Like kind
nothing
of
out of the ordinary.
pressing in. I'm literally pressing in. Is there anything?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, that's weird. I know I'm doing this to somebody's deceased head, but that's weird. It's expecting something.
The car
something-
drives by. What is it? No!
Mommy, what's that elf doing?
He seems to be massaging the dead man's head.
Are you okay?
I hear they steal souls. That's probably what he's doing.
I heard they were
will-
cannibals.
I will then quietly say a little prayer to himself, and then will go to put his gun away and that sort of thing.
All right.
zip
And
up
the
the-
inside
Yeah.
is Enrique.
Mhm.
What is Michael doing? Like I said, this guy's trying to weasel around you to get back to the door.
He's placing himself between the man and the door.
Special with 1 damage.
No, that's something different.
Oh, okay.
What are the special
martial art.
rules again? Yeah.
Well, it doubles damage,
Uh-huh.
so that one
So I'm
becomes
doing-
a 2,
Yeah, and then
and then roll for your martial art.
so 6.
Well, doesn't 4 become 8?
D3.
Ah, forgot about that part.
Yeah, you're fine. Where's special success? There we go.
That's
Trying to
a major
find where
remaining, if he's not dead.
the
Well, that's 14 damage he's taken total, so and he's got 12, so
this is crushing, so okay. There we go. A crushing special doubles the damage modifier normally applied. The attacker has negative damage modifiers.
Just don't put any
Targets-
blood on the nice lady's rug.
A target suffering a crushing special success must also make a successful stamina roll or be stunned for 1d3 rounds.
that's irrelevant because he's out of a hit point.
He's out of hit points first.
He's dead, man.
also-
He's dead.
Also, you did
Another major.
half
wound.
of his total life with that one attack, so you'd be rolling on the major wound table if he wasn't, already completely out. But
Yeah, so he's going to incapacitate, as in like he's knocking him out,
Okay,
as
that's
opposed to
fair.
dead. So break ribs, I guess.
yeah, you can easily puncture a lung with a broken rib. More than likely, you had weakened it with some of those earlier blows, and then this one, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's unconscious. He's on the ground. His breathing isn't real healthy sounding.
He needs a CPAP.
So do I, but I'm not bragging about it.
Yeah, Michael, he just cracks his knuckles and just rolls his neck.
You hear Mr. Collis? My God, man, did you box in college?
No, I just had a very, very strong brother.
It tracks.
Wait, the gunfire. I'm not hearing any gunfire outside.
Good point.
That's either very good or very bad.
He's
Teek's, sorry, if we're out of combat, Teek's going to do a perimeter check.
All right, you circle the house. You don't see anything else going on.
I will open the door and be like, anyone get a mop?
You hear a woman's voice from the kitchen. Yes. Why?
May I use it?
Very quiet over to Salvador.
Well,
This is now a crime scene. Should we be doing that?
Sure.
Did you shoot anybody out there?
I'm not legally obligated to answer that.
Answer
I'm not
is
talking
yes.
to a lawyer.
Leave it alone.
The lady who owns the house has run up to the door now. Is looking at. Oh my god!
Please stay
Vivian's
inside.
gonna try to just walk with the lady back inside. Let's
Yep,
just go
yep,
sit
yep.
down. Do you have
You're
any? Do you have
bleeding.
any
You're bleeding
tea?
profusely.
It's actually somebody else's blood. It's fine. It's fine.
You hear from inside
You
this.
have a cut across
of
your
this-
wrist that's left the hand almost useless.
No, she actually put her hand in her pocket.
I would assume if Leo saw the blood, he would be
Leo has
helping
walked up
Vivian.
and taken your hand out of your pocket and is murmuring over it. And I don't
At
know
least
what
it'll
little
at least stop
fetish
the
he
bleeding.
has for
He hasn't even taken the knife out. It's still stuck in his shoulder. He's just walking around with it.
Just hi, how you doing?
But Leo fails, so he has to work on you for a
Uh-oh.
while.
Just wrap it up with a scarf.
Oh, well, then you got a special. Let's see. He spent 5 HP. How many health are you down, Vivian?
More than half, but she'd be like, "Look, just stop the bleeding. I can take a nap."
That's
All
not
right,
how
so he's
any of this
got
works.
14
Alright, so-
power points. He's used 5 of them. Oh wait, he was already down 1, so he's used 6 of them total.
Yeah, she'll be like, very much just make it not bleed. I'll deal with it later. I'll have my breakdown in private later.
Where it's dignified.
All right, so he's spending 8 points, but you are not an orc, so it's a 2
No.
for 1 deal. So you get 4 You get 4 HP back.
That
He is-
doesn't fix
he
the
is-
major wound, though, correct?
Uh,
It might stop the bleeding, but one of those things that has to take longer to heal, kind of thing.
let's see, 4 points. Yeah, I would say the cuts are all healed up, and like the skin does not look scarred, but it's still there's still
Bruised
some
up and
internal
everything.
damage, still weak.
Okay.
And once he rests up and can do some more magic, he could hit somebody for a little more if he needed to.
See, perfectly fine. Let's go have some tea.
Perfectly fine.
Trying to make sure the lady doesn't see too much.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's astonished by what Leo managed to do. It's amazing. How are you not working at a hospital? Then he starts talking to her about his private practice.
Vivian goes and makes tea.
He's sitting
You
on
go
the
make tea.
stoop.
There is an open bottle of wine on the table, and a glass. She's clearly been in there drinking wine while this has been going on.
If your character has suffered a major wound, attempt a luck roll immediately.
Oh dear. Why?
If successful, the major wound will heal cleanly and does not inflict any permanent loss of characteristic points.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Hey!
Yeah. If the luck roll fails, the injury or wound is permanent. Your character suffers the full wound as described below, subtracting the indicated characteristic points.
I think magical healing would still heal it, though. I think
It'd
that's
still give
talking
me
about
back hit
I think
points
that's
at
talking about
least,
natural
yeah.
healing, so.
Yeah, but I was just reading through the major wounds going,
They can be nasty.
Also, as a fun note, if you take a major wound, you KO pretty quickly.
Luckily, that was my last round of
Yeah.
doing something.
Because even though your character may still be able to fight, if they have suffered a major wound, they go into shock. Because of this, your character can fight on only for combat rounds equal to their current remaining hit points. So,
Fantastic.
Hey,
Teak,
you're
by the
playing
time you
Rice
finish circling
then.
the house, you're hearing police sirens in the distance.
Yep. And Tico
Yeah.
will just like as soon as he gets to the stoop, he'll go up to the house, open the door. Police are on the way. Close the door, and then sit on the stoop.
Yep. I can get up.
Michael walks out of the study, like his arm is bloody. He is dragging the unconscious man behind him. Went, Leo, I need you to stabilize this one. I think I collapsed his rib cage.
Leo starts working on it.
It'll be a sec.
Vivian Instead, pours herself a very small glass of wine, drinks it real quick, and goes out and joins Teak on the stoop.
Mm-hmm. How's the wrist?
I'll live.
Think you could still. Well, no, she hasn't said that. Wait, does
She
Teak
hasn't
know
said
that
anything really about her wrist.
But does Teak? Well, no, but I mean, I would.
knows-
knows
Teak
she
would
knows
have seen.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
okay.
played at the Elemental.
That's right. Think you can still play?
Not thinking about that right now.
Good point. And then he looks down. Oh, right, and doink, and sits it down on the stoop.
Oh, the gun.
No, he pulls the dagger out,
Oh,
sits it between them.
she'll pull her gun out and set it down off to her side. She hasn't reloaded it or anything.
Teak's just going to keep his holstered.
Multiple police cars pull up. It's all this, get down on the ground, that sort of thing. So Teague and Vivian are sitting outside. Who else was outside?
I'm outside. I have put my duffel bag, my rifles in my duffel bag again. It is zipped up off to the side, and I'm just kind of sitting and waiting.
And where is Michael?
Hopefully with us.
Kind of watching over the guy that Leo's tending to, and
Okay.
unless Leo will shoo him off, saying that he's got it or something like that.
As long as you were standing and watching, Leo didn't say anything to you.
Yeah.
He tells you he's pretty sure a rib punctured one of his lungs. He's got him as stable as he can. They're going to need to get him to a hospital as quick as possible.
Sure.
Then the police come barging in, and so there's a lot of everybody, down on the ground for a little bit. Everybody's getting patted down.
Mm.
Let's see. The lady, Miss Summerford, she starts very frantically telling them what was going on, and her friend came here to hide from something. She's just spilling the beans.
That's fine.
Friend came here to hide. These people showed up. And she identifies you as the Bjorn. Her friend wanted to talk to them, and then these men attacked. There was all kinds of gunfire outside. She didn't see any of the fighting, but she saw the after effects. Oh, and then she pours herself, mid interview with the police, she's pouring herself another glass of wine.
Go off,
Please.
Queen.
And the officer's not really trying to stop her. It's like,
I feel like
she
some
needs something for her nerves. That's fine.
It's the 20s. That's what they do.
That or
Just from
slap you,
opium.
get hysterical.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, she's getting interrogated. Mr. Collis is getting talked to. They radio in for an ambulance, although there was already an ambulance on the way because they've been hearing about so much gunshots. But they radio in that the scene is under control, stable and all. All of you get carted off to jail, or to the police precinct. Just for questioning.
I was gonna say, hold on a second.
Not Windburn, I'm guessing.
No, this would be the Highland Park one.
Fantastic.
Which some of y'all have been interacting with them recently up here investigating the footprints and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're not complete unknowns. Now, like the individual officer showing up for this, didn't recognize you right away. Then when the woman said something, they're like, "Oh yeah," because they at least seen you in the paper. Any of you with puncture wounds and stuff, they do get that They do get that seen too. By the ambulance drivers and EMTs before you leave. So they put you all in individual interrogation rooms. Let's see. Do I want to interrogate? Interrogating you all individually would take a long time. But is there anything y'all are going to try to keep from them, or are y'all just going to tell them kind of the unvarnished truth, or?
Teek's gonna tell him everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unvarnished truth.
Okay.
We asked them to leave. They came at us aggressively, and we responded with equal force. There was no
Teek
time
would start
to
with Teek would start with them investigating the footprints, like the disappearances, and then continue into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'd asked the men to leave. They refused. Before they could notify police or anything, they were attacked.
Okay. You're at the station for several hours. You know,
I'll say,
different ones are
Michael-
coming in and talking to you off and on.
I will say,
Yeah.
Michael, when he is questioned, he will mention basically the conversation that he and Salvador had with the man, where he was very much convinced that Estella Boss sent them after him.
They found that very interesting. Did he offer any proof?
Conversation got cut off by gunfight.
Yeah. Yeah, basically as we were mid-conversation and then he gestures to his wounded arm.
Oh, yes. So eventually they let you go home. You eventually come back in, your stories check out with, they match up pretty good with what witnesses on the street saw. They did see the men charge, they do have a few eyewitnesses that saw the men charging up the stoop before y'all started shooting.
He tried to talk them out.
The woman that, Miss Summerford, she backs up, her story backs up y'all's side of things. Since none of y'all were really keeping anything, y'all's stories all match up pretty well. From whatever vantage point, you were at.
Yeah.
Let's see. Leo would probably request to see the bodies of the men. But that gets shot down because he's, like, part of the investigation. Like, he's part of the incident being investigated, so it'd be like,
Teek would be like,
Be a
after
little
the
weird.
investigation. Teek would be like, after the investigation over and everything's like done and said, can I have one of those daggers? Curious.
Oh, did you guys let the guy know about the blowgun?
Yeah. I mean, that's
That's part of the
got
investigation.
shot at by it, so
Okay.
like I said, he
I'm just making
Teek's,
sure.
Teek's like, I want
one
a
of them
trophy.
does mention that, yeah, they all seem to have that. The darts
Fine.
seem to be coated in something. Nobody's touched it with their bare
Like it.
hands. They've shipped it off to a lab to be examined.
Well, I'm glad that he missed with that when he shot me with it.
Yeah, there's no telling what's on it. But yeah, he's like, they didn't have any guns. They had a lot of knives, garrotes. They had let's see, the blowguns. No identification. All of them had wallets, with a few, with, $15, $20 in it. They all had ID, but all the IDs are fake. Like, they're decent fakes. A police officer looking at it on the street wouldn't think nothing of it.
All the IDs say John Smith. Every single one.
So they're checking. They've sent in to check on the names on the IDs, but having determined the IDs are fake, they're pretty sure the names will be as well. All the clothing, it's just run of the mill stuff from a variety of shops. Said it looks like off the rack that's been had alterations done.
Mhm.
But before you leave, they do say Mr. Collis wants to speak to you again. They're trying to convince him to go into police protection, at least temporarily. But he doesn't seem to have a lot of faith in police protection.
Considering what happened the last time.
The last time, has he been in police protection before?
Michael will mention the whole the person who was testifying against Miss Estella Voss was in police protection and suddenly mysteriously died in his sleep.
Oh, well, yeah, we can't really blame the guy then. We couldn't get him to tell us what sort of business he had with Miss Voss that would have caused her to want to kill him, though. He's very tight-lipped about that. In fact, he has not dropped her name at all. He merely thinks that he's in danger. Has not dropped the name to us, I should say.
Well, he mentioned it to me.
But if you'd like to speak with him, I can take you to him, because he did want to speak with you.
Certainly.
So as soon as you walk in, Mr. Collis like, "Oh, Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
these gentlemen keep offering to put me in police protection, but as you know, I'm a little
Considering what
little
happened the
nervous about
last
that."
time
Yes.
somebody was going against Miss Estella Voss went into police protection. I understand.
He sort of looks, around at the place when you drop her name. He's like, "Well, can't be 100% certain, but I'm concerned." Yes. But you said you had somewhere out of the way that I could likely stay. I don't need to know. I don't need you to say where, because the walls have ears.
Walls have ears.
But I would like, if that offer is still open, I would like to take you up on it.
Yeah, I can give you a place.
The police are like, at this point, they can't keep him. They can't force him to stay because he seems to be the victim in all this and was not involved in any of the fighting.
Mm.
They pretty well established that you were acting in self-defense, so they're cutting you loose.
Mm.
Obviously, none of you need to leave town, yada, 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 standard.
Yeah.
The crime is still being investigated. It's just you're not suspects of anything at the moment.
Mm-hmm. But basically, the crux of it is he it's basically an apartment that he just kind of just pays rent on. That's kind of like sparsely furnished, but sort of like a if he needs to disappear for a little while apartment.
And so there's not a paper trail of it leading back to you.
Mm-mm.
I assume you pay it in cash. Okay, that's
Yeah, it's paid in cash. It's it's not in an area of the city that you would expect Michael to be in. Basically.
It's not in Crime Alley, but it's not necessarily the nicest neighborhood either.
Yeah.
That suits him just fine. Y'all are loaded up in y'all's cars.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like constantly looking out the windows and looking out the window behind you, making very certain that y'all aren't being followed.
Mm-hmm.
And the police would take you back to where you had parked your cars.
Yeah.
when one of the officers can kind of get Michael, basically as Mr. Collar is getting in the car, one of them kind of whispers, we can't. We can't stop you from stashing him somewhere, and we wouldn't. He needs to be kept safe. But if you can keep us in the loop, like you've been doing for the precinct down in Windburn,
I can do.
If the chief is interested in this, he seems to be pretty aware of that previous. The previous time Miss Voss's name came up in a case, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you agree, he thanks you for that.
Mm.
As you are... let me roll a spot for the fellow that's so nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it just Michael taking him there, or is everybody, or both cars going there? Because I think y'all were in Michael's car and Teek's car.
Yeah, I think I was in Teek's car for sure. So I'll go wherever Teek wants to go.
Okay.
I think Salvador's just like, he's letting the day's events like wash over him. So he's kind of like he's like idling. He's the equivalent of idling in The Sims, where you just kind of stand there and let the thing happen to you. Let things happen to you.
Just let the toaster catch on fire.
Like, do we follow them at a distance? Teek asks.
Huh? What? Oh, I guess if you want.
Before they all got in cars, Vivian would suggest maybe they should, after all this, meet back at the office and have like a debrief and figure out how they want to go forward without being around police.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Teek, if we're all still together, Teek would be like, "Do you want me to follow you at a distance? Do you want me to go back to the office? How do you want to do this?"
I need protein.
I guess I'm going back to the diner.
Well, it would probably behoove us for you to follow at a distance, so we have more pairs of eyes in case someone tries to follow us.
I could
Works
wait
for me.
I just this is a thing that's going to happen at some point tonight. I need.
We're gonna get dinner to take up to the office and during all of this.
Yes.
It is night by now, but it's early in the evening. Because y'all
Yeah,
were doing
yep.
y'all's canvassing in the afternoon, so...
Yeah, and so Teek will follow at a good distance, but
Okay.
keep up with him.
Here we give me
Salvador,
spot rolls.
What?
Salvador uncharacteristically sounds sorry.
Nope.
Go ahead. Out of the spot roll thing, I'm rolling it and everything, but what time was Dorothy's date at? Are they going to run back into her at the office looking like hell?
She should be on the date now. Chances of you
Okay.
running to her at the office is slim.
Fantastic.
I succeeded.
Let's say just
Teek's focused on driving.
Because this is a new scene first. Yay. Meaning, secondly, this. Yay.
The aggressive vibe checks.
I mean, yeah.
Michael just has a HUD going on in his eyes right now at all times.
Anybody get better than just a success?
I got a
Someone
special.
like Karoshi optics in his eyes.
All right, and which car were you in?
Probably Michael's, but I'm not sure.
It would depend on how fidgety that guy is.
He's pretty fidgety and kind of nervous.
She'll ask the guy first, do you want anyone else riding, or would you prefer to have less people in the car?
Do you want to have Dame in the car?
Oh, no, he's fine with any of y'all. Y'all are helping him.
Since they're probably splitting between vehicles, she'll split in that one. And try to talk to the guy to calm him down as they're driving.
So the special is in Michael's car, and then I got a success.
So, he keeps looking around, and, every now and then he's like, how long has that car been behind us? But then that car will turn off, and, it's like, okay. You can tell he's just being paranoid.
How long
Yeah.
has that car been
Yeah.
behind us? It's Teak's Model Teak.
Ah,
Yeah,
no, we
if
all
he-
are hanging further back.
Yeah.
Mm.
She might try and get some information from him without trying to get information from him, just making casual conversation.
Well,
As
with
they
your
drive.
special, you do notice that, the same model of car does pop up behind you kind of often.
Is it a really ordinary car?
Let's see.
And with, I hate saying this, but with her dark vision, can she see who's driving it?
I have dark vision.
She
I've got
does
dark
have
vision.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Most common car, 1925.
The fact that you're asking that question.
Just Googling
Google's
it.
like, we know.
Yeah, it's technically it was still the Model T, because that was still what a lot of people were driving, even if it wasn't exactly the best selling anymore.
The drivers look uniform.
So we're gonna say it's not a Model T, but it's one of those kind of standard when you think of the 1920s kind of cars.
Mm-hmm.
I think of station wagons, and I know I'm way off base.
Whatever the
Because-
1920 equivalent of a station wagon
A
is.
Stute
It's
Series
'cause-
965.
Because my idea of it is whatever happened in the Brady Bunch, and that's way before. That's way back in before that.
Yeah, it's
I don't
after the
have a good-
20s.
I don't have a good frame of reference for time. After the Brady Bunch, or before the Brady Bunch, I should say.
It's the 1960s, and and then everything else is before that.
Yeah, there's a lot of drugs in the 1960s. We don't remember anything before it.
Yeah.
If she notices it's a fairly common car repeatedly following them, and if she can see enough with her dark vision to see that it might be ordinary people,
It just looks like a businessman driving. He's in a little
and
bowler
with
hat.
how her day's been going, with bowler-hatted businessmen in ordinary vehicles, just quietly in Elvish, because she's pretty sure this guy doesn't understand Elvish. Darling, we're being tailed by someone other than Teak.
With the dark vision, you being able to see the driver, you do realize it's actually two different cars. It's just the same model and the same paint job. Almost like somebody walked on it and walked onto the sales
These are
lot
close
and just said,
enough.
"We'll take two of those."
We'll take two of those,
And it's
and
two
also
different
if you
looking
can get me another
businessmen
one.
driving. One's in a bowler, and one's in a.
They've both got hats.
Yeah, they
Do
both
they have
got
hats
hats.
with- Which one has a bandana?
None of them have bandanas pulled down.
Okay,
Like I said, when they're tucked up into the hat, you can't notice them.
gotcha.
But it's like they're kind of swapping out. One will follow you and he'll pull off, and then as you pass the next one, past the next street, that guy comes
It's
out.
like leapfrogging.
Right.
What it sounds like.
She'll
Okay.
go on and be like, 2 vehicles so far, it looks like, 2 different drivers.
Lovely.
And it just goes back to talking with the gentleman about something totally mundane, so he doesn't get startled. What did the success in the other vehicles see? Did they see this as well?
Not with your regular successes now. Because these guys are being subtle about it, but you got a special. You roll.
So with it
Cool.
with it pointed out, can Michael see it?
Yes, once she
That's
points it
better.
out, you know to look for that model of car.
How much time has it been since the fight?
You were in the police station at least a couple of hours.
How many hours in total?
So let's say 3 hours total.
Cool.
So
I got
did we
2
get our-
rounds back.
Did we get any of health back?
I
Didn't
don't
get
know
any
if
of our.
it comes back that quick.
Yeah, I was
Well,
specifically asking.
you
for
specifically
power
said
point.
that they helped. They helped with the wounds, but I don't know if that healed any. So that's why I was asking.
Nah, it's more like stitching you up so you heal.
Yeah.
You know, rubbing alcohol
Getting
and
us
everything.
on the road to recovery.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Salvador is very much so like on the cusp of chancing. I don't think that's
Just
what the
elf
elves in the
things.
setting do, but like, you know.
Say just elf.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got 2 PowerPoints back in that span of time.
Gonna light the car on fire.
Mm.
No.
Vivian, lean up here to the front seat and take the wheel.
That's the thing is, it just has to be in it just has to be in range, and he can see it.
That's true. You're not shooting fire blasts at people. It is.
Yeah.
It's more fire
Starting a
starter.
fire with my
pyrokinesis.
mind.
No, what he's gonna do is he's gonna superheat the air in the tire and cause it to rupture.
That seems perfectly reasonable. Let me look up.
Basically, he wants to force a blowout without causing a scene.
Yep, heat an area or object or target to extreme temperatures. Okay.
Mm.
Let me just look to see what sort of targeting. Trying to hit a moving target.
Just has to be in range.
3 power points, 1d6 damage, or 3 size points.
Mm-hmm. This thing is there's damage, but there's also the other effect that goes with it is it has to make a resistance check against my power. And if it fails, it basically melts.
Alright. Alright, so it's the object size.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say a wheel of a car isn't particularly, these old cars, is not particularly large.
Mm-hmm.
17 to 24 is normally human sized. So I'll give the tire a size of 12.
Okay.
And then the resistance is your ability, so that would be what, your POW or?
Yeah, which would be a 16.
All right. So it's making the thing. So its active characteristic is 12, and yours is
a 16.
16.
Well, first I have to make the roll.
Oh, that's right. You do have to You do have to roll to activate the power, just not for.
She does.
It's active.
Alright.
So I will say, if the guy is kind of, are you sitting between him and Michael?
She'd be sitting in the back seat.
The back seat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I imagine they're both in the back and you're driving.
Okay. So you don't see the sort of telltale effect of his pyrokinetics going off. Okay. Cool.
Oh, do the runes always light up, or what's going on?
No, so I had the like if he starts pumping more and more power into it, then I was gonna have the runes start lighting up. But
Okay,
if it's
cool,
just like
cool.
the basic 3 points, is like his eyes just sort of like turn amber for a second and then swap back to silver again.
Okay. All right, so let me make the resistance roll for the tire. It needs a 30 or less.
How resistant is this tire?
Well, it rolled a 78, so it goes poof,
Mhm.
and quickly pull over.
Does Teak see this?
You're like a block back,
Mhm.
block and a half back. And yeah, you'd seen a
I
car
hear it.
pull out, because there's a lot more traffic going on than just these two vehicles swapping out.
Right.
But yeah, you see a guy have a blowout and pull over. He doesn't wreck. It's not like he was speeding.
He's very ordinary when he gets out.
It's weird.
Yeah, by the time you pass him, this guy's gotten out. He's taking his hat off, and he's just kind of whapped the hood of his car with it. He looks kind of pissed.
Does the bandana come shooting out of the hat when he whaps it?
No, because he reached
Yeah.
up. He's holding it.
He got it like this with his
Yeah,
thumb.
he's holding it right where the bandana would pull down.
Gotcha.
So even when he's doing something to be angry, or at least to
It's just-
appear ordinarily angry,
Ordinarily
Mhm.
angry. Yep.
They've had training.
The very ordinary response.
This is some shit I would do in Monster of the Week. I love it.
Yeah, as they're driving, Michael just and Elvin goes, well, it seems they had a blowout.
Oh, very convenient.
Mr. Collis is like, what? Oh yeah, but y'all are still speaking Elvis, so he's like,
I was just asking directions. I thought I was familiar with this area, and I wasn't quite as familiar as I thought.
oh, okay.
It might just be the dark, though.
Oh, stuff does look different in the dark.
It does.
You hear from up front, tell me about it.
And y'all go down another
Michael-
couple of blocks, and another white car pulls out behind you. Specifically, the other one.
Wasting tires for these
He's
people.
just gonna be like, I'm gonna have to keep a good eye on the road.
Well, this
Dang.
time it rolled an 01.
Okay.
Oh, you resisted.
But that is to resist. Is that to resist the damage?
That's to resist melting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's to resist outright melting
All right, go ahead and roll damage
and just
then.
going off. 2.
How sturdy is a tire? How many hit points does that tire have?
Well, let's see. I said it was size 12. It wouldn't have a con, so I'd probably say the tire has 6 hit points.
Okay.
Bless you, sir.
So while you
Bless you,
damaged
somebody
it,
Mhm.
there's probably some meltage, but
Has it slowed the vehicle down?
no, not with 2 points. No, a
Okay.
bad pothole could do that to it.
All right, fair enough. I have enough power to try that one more time,
Give me one more roll.
as I'm now down to 1 power point.
You do realize if you use all your power points, you'll pass out.
Yes, I had 4 after that last attempt. It costs 3 per attempt.
Okay, you'll have one after this attempt. Gotcha. You're good.
Yes,
then.
I'll have
You're good.
1 after this.
As long as you don't have to get in mental combat with somebody, you'll be fine.
I just
So-
picture you doing the okay.
I will say, fun note about psychics. If we go to 0, we can start spending HP.
Oh, okay,
no.
fair enough.
Specifically, it's specifically in psychic combat. If our power points go to 0, we don't get KO'd. We start spending HP.
And then they get killed.
Your
Yeah.
nose and ears start bleeding.
Still success.
And a
I
41.
just picture you doing the thing where you check to see if someone's like you're like checking to merge and you like just like real quick.
So Teak, you see a second car have a blowout.
It's like,
You're like, it's another
Okay.
white car. In fact, you being the car guy,
The exact same make and model.
you're like, yeah, it's the same.
Deja
It's
vu.
like it's clearly
Wait
a
a
different guy that gets out.
yeah. Teak's like, wait a
It does the
minute.
same thing.
No, they're not quite that synchronized. Yeah.
It's like that scene in The Matrix.
This guy gets
but-
out and like kicks the flat tire.
Michael sort of keeps driving. I will say probably, Vivian, with your dark vision, probably notice when his hand comes back, there's blood on the back of his hand.
Drops a handkerchief over the seat as she's like moving her arm to continue talking to this guy.
All right, so y'all eventually get to the safe house.
Mhm.
Teak. Perfect. Other than the weird, other than seeing 2 blowouts in a row, it makes you wonder if somebody's, spilled nails on the street or something.
Right.
Bottles.
Other than that, perfectly peaceful drive. Nothing unusual.
The exact same
If-
tire on the
if-
exact same spot.
If Teak sees them pull in, he'll drive past and go up a block and park on the street.
Because what if Teak was being followed?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, he basically so he would hand a spare set of keys to the guy and basically tell him if anybody asks, his name is Alexander de Winter.
Oh, my alias. Yes. Alexander
It's-
de
it's-
Winter.
It's the name it's under.
Understood. Oh, is it stocked with any food?
Non-perishables.
Okay. That won't necessarily be the most pleasant meals, but he'll be alive to
It
eat them, so
keeps.
that's good enough.
Stay away from windows. There's very heavy curtains.
And y'all get him in there and show him around. Michael, I'm sure, shows him around the place. He's like
It's
checking the
small.
windows and making sure they're extra secure.
Yeah, there's only one window, and it's in the living room.
Okay.
The bedroom is basically there is no window. And the door has has like 2 bolts on it, if need be.
The bedroom door.
Huh?
The bedroom door.
Yes. So it basically is a place that you can
Panic room.
retreat to as like a last stand kind of thing, if you have to.
Yeah, he likes that.
And this guy knew wards too, so he was going to ward it, right?
Oh yeah.
I will say if Teak leaves the car, Salvador's staying in the car. He's still like kind of like eyes forward.
Teak. Is there a place where he could park, like at a corner, to be able to watch if Michael leaves?
Yeah, that wouldn't be too
Okay.
hard to do.
Yeah, Teak just parks there and he just sits there and waits.
It's the kind, that's the kind of stuff you do if you were dropping people off in
Mhm.
your previous job. You just drop off and then you go, the next block down, you park at the corner and keep around the place.
And just in case, Teak leans down in the seat. So that people don't think that there is a driver. Because he's on a stack of, he's basically on like a stack of books. He just gets off the books and sits down in the seat. So his head isn't there. Yep.
Does your little red son want a booster seat?
There's
This is
an
a
elf
whole-
in the back seat, just
this is
like
a whole ass
looking
man.
like this.
1,000-yard stare.
Mm-hmm.
The camera would just zoom into his face, and you start hearing with the volume turned down, the sounds of war in the background.
It's the gif with the dog and the 1,000-yard stare.
Yes.
Yep. With the what was it, like a cupcake? I think?
Cupcakes, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That tracks.
So y'all get him situated, and by the time y'all are leaving, he's got his chalk out, and he's warding a window. Gonna ward the door when y'all are gone. And then he'll try to get some sleep.
Yeah. Basically, once they basically leave the apartment, Michael all but folds over into the wall.
He acts tough until the we'll call him the
Yeah.
client for the moment is out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't hit my wrist. You use me as a come on, car.
And
Car.
Explain later. Car first.
I've probably got about 10 minutes of being able to support somebody else's weight outside of my own car.
That hurt a lot.
Let's not repeat that experience. Let's go get some food. I think all of us need some food and a sit down.
Blowing up car tires while driving is.
Hey, you've learned a new and valuable skill. Gentle pat
Yes.
pat.
Man, they do leave.
Yeah, you
Up
just need
to
to
the
open a
diner.
tire shop.
Teak,
Then
you open the
you sit a
tire
block
shop.
down and you blow tires people drive by. So
Michael blows them up. He sends them to Teak to fix them.
It's a foolproof plan.
Technically, like, there's no really telling what'll happen. He's just be sitting there, just like sipping on a coffee. Glance up. Oh,
Can only do 2 or 3 a day though.
but the insurance adjusters eventually figure it out.
yeah, that's true.
Because while humans may be hesitant to hire magic, insurance CEOs wouldn't care.
That track.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all get back to y'all's office without too much trouble. You don't spot anybody else following you the rest of the way over there. You get there
Finds
just in
the-
time to get some food from the diner before they're getting ready to shut down.
Yeah, Michael finds like the couch. I think we said there's a couch in there. In the office.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
a
so.
couple of chairs and the couch. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, he just lays out on the couch. Very undignified.
All of this space is mine.
Yeah. Oh, that gave me a massive headache.
So how is everyone doing? While sipping coffee.
Leo would be
I mean, I
walking around checking
exploded
everybody's
some
wounds to make sure
tires,
they're still
so-
fine.
I'm good. How about y'all?
We almost had another fight on our hands, I think.
Significant look at the 1,000-yard stare elf.
What?
Shell shock's a hell of a thing.
Just kind of reaches over. Salvador,
Huh?
hang out with us at least for a little bit. Don't get too lost.
What?
You've been zoned out for a while.
No, I wasn't. I was listening to everybody.
Okay, just very good at zoning out. I need to learn that from you. Or at least looking zoned out.
Yeah,
It gets you out of a lot of social interactions.
it apparently worked for me very, very well.
We're checking in on that guy in the morning, I'm guessing.
What happened to the guy whose insides got cracked?
I think he got taken to the hospital.
Yeah, he's at the hospital. He should be at the hospital under police guard.
Do we want to actively attempt to investigate Estella Voss?
My boss all but gave me carte blanche to do whatever I needed to do to bring her to heel.
Follow up to that, she has some, allegedly, it looks like powerful, well, not allegedly, powerful allies.
Not with good cars.
I don't think.
Now,
Their
now
tires
hold
getting
on. Teeks is like start about to go into a ramble if someone doesn't stop it.
Gee, if Vivian starts and Teak starts, Vivian's gonna just let him be like, go off.
He'll explain, that's the newest model, blah 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 blah. It's just basically explain the whole detail of the car.
Those
Michael
tires were brand new. They shouldn't have done that.
I'll say Michael just very tired, very deadpan. Might still be a little bit of blood coming out of his nose. Looks right at Teak and went, and I blew up the tires.
One, I
Or
hate you.
blew-
Two,
blew out.
how?
Blew up.
If you didn't hear that, one, I hate you for that.
Mhm.
Two, how?
Well, one, they were additional ne'er-do-wells that were following us.
That would explain why they look the same. Okay.
And two, do you remember the hospital?
Hmm.
That particular gift has stabilized.
So, like, you can
Huh?
set yourself on fire.
I reached out to the tires and superheated the air inside until it ruptured.
That's a cool trick.
Oh, it's very warm.
Michael literally will actually will say that's like, no, it's actually quite warm.
Vivian from the corner just shaking her head.
I'm tired. Leave me.
Are
Ugh.
we passing out here?
I can
With
take you home whenever we get done talking, I think.
that's another thing. With the Invisible Men now being a new kind of target painted on our back, do we want to consolidate where we are?
Great. I've always wanted a clubhouse. I didn't get enough of that in the army.
I mean, if I have plenty of
I'm
room at my house.
I'm just tossing it out there. We don't have to.
I know. It is the most logically sound thing to do. I do not like the idea, but it is the right thing to do. I
Make base
cannot-
rules of everyone has an area that is respected as theirs.
Sure.
I call the garage.
Is there a garage? Were garages a thing in the 20s
I
attached to
don't even
houses?
know. I don't think so.
Tell
Probably
Google.
not.
In newer houses, it might have been. In older houses, probably not. You probably had more out in like the county. You probably had more like lean-to garage or lean-to like carport sort of things.
You had the 1920s had attached and detached
Okay.
garages. So,
Okay.
5 years in the 20s, probably a thing.
Yep, yep.
Mm.
Cars got popular quick, so you know.
Mhm.
You need a special room for your car.
When it snows in places where it snows as much as it does up there, yeah, that's actually probably
Yeah.
a really nice thing to have.
Keeps it warm so it starts
Yeah.
easier.
Well,
No having to scrape snow off, yeah.
Yeah.
I was promised a meal, and a meal I will have. So if we
So-
want to recon,
So the meeting reconvenes in the diner is what I'm hearing.
yeah,
Mhm.
yes,
All right. Well, it's 9:30, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap here with y'all going down,
Salvador
eating a dinner.
absolutely destroying 3 chicken fried steaks and a plate of eggs.
The kitchen
way-
closes in 10 minutes. Why?
The waitress is like, she starts to tell you, "Oh well, we were just getting ready to close it," and then she sees how roughed up you all look. Oh my!
And Vivian still probably got blood on her.
Say Michael has
Several
blood
of you
on him,
have, you
there's
know,
blood.
visible wounds.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pay you
Uh,
very generously just for a good solid meal, please.
she looks back at the cook because it's not the lady that owns the place. Yeah, this is just somebody that's closing.
Night shift.
The closer.
Mm.
We'll tip the
And
cook too if need be.
The cook takes a look. Oh, yeah. We'll fix them whatever they need.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
You
you.
fight monsters, man. I can stay a little late to cook.
Salvador destroys 3 chicken fried steaks, a whole thing of eggs, and a short
I'll say
stack.
Michael will because he is very tired. It is late. Everybody is hurt or hurting in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
He's asleep in the booth.
Well, sort of. But he just pulls out a 20 for each for like cook and waitress and goes here.
Oh well, now they're really happy to hang
That's a
around
lot
a
of
while.
money.
Let y'all take y'all's time eating.
Yep.
That's partially why Michael did it, is because they
Yep.
just need a little bit of time to relax.
So that's
Wrap
it for
there.
today. Hope y'all had a
Hmm.
good time. I enjoyed it.
Yep. These are becoming my favorite
$20 is
antagonists so far.
$317 in today's money.
Mhm.
Uh,
I mean, Michael is very affluent.
Please
He's
just let us
loaded.
eat.
Yeah. The man is loaded, and he's like, I am going to treat my friends here. He just drops $600 on food.
I just want to take a nap, man.
and you made 2 new very good friends at the diner.
Mhm.
But anyway, hope everybody had fun. Hope everybody that anybody that comes by and watches later enjoys it. Hope you'll join us next week. Again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me has been Carr playing Teak, Sarah playing Vivian, Eric playing Michael, and Jeremy playing Salvador. And we will see y'all next time.
Oh boy.
So tread with care and heed the sign. Abomination, Ali's light. For in the night the shadows grow and take with them